the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders, and it comes your way next.
Just outside of the nation's capital in nearby Landover, Maryland. Welcome in. We're getting a look at the enormous Northwest Stadium. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
The ball is teed up as rain continues to fall. And we're off and running from Landover. Has this at the 6. He stopped on the return at the 27. So here come the Cowboys for their opening drive. Bringing them out is a Mississippi State 4th-round pick in 2016 who's found considerable success in this league, Dak Prescott.
I don't think I'm alone in this, Kate. To me, Dak is one of the easiest players to root for their success in the NFL. I think for me and for many others, it's based on all he's overcome, from tough playoff losses to significant injuries. But his leadership, his stats, his ability to play like an MVP in big moments, at his best, he really is all you could ever ask for.
That's complete. It's Javonte Williams. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Hauled down that time by Jonathan Jones.
Defense all over that throw. You could just smell it. They just smelled that football coming their way, and that's as good as an incompletion. And they're going to be in a good spot. 2nd down coming up.
2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Off the play fake. It's Prescott. Headed out right. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
And now this defense is on that sack board and sets up a pretty good chance here on 3rd down. It's a little bit like blood in the water with sharks when it comes to taking sacks. You can feel it as a quarterback. Once that defense gets one, they're hungry for another.
And he's able to get it to the 21 as he goes down.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. So now the Commanders will get their turn at an opening drive of the game. They'll be led out by an elite runner, one of the game's top dual-threat young quarterbacks. He was taken 2nd in 2024, Jayden Daniels.
Jayden's the closest thing we've seen to Lamar Jackson. And while there's only one Lamar Jackson, the 2-time MVP, Jayden's going to push him a little bit in this league. He is a tremendous athlete. Over 1,000 yards rushing down the SEC, and he's just got the instincts, the feel to know when to run it. And man, he can also sling it. A quick, compact, accurate release. I can't wait to watch this guy's skill set unfold in the NFL.
2nd down now, 7 to go. They'll run the draw with Robinson. And he'll dive for a little extra yardage, and he's down. Stuck to the ground, but nothing gained that time, and it brings up 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Daniels. He has the first over the middle. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. That play good for 17 and a 1st down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, so it'll be 2nd down. Robinson on the inside give. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
They'll throw on 3rd and long. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
They connect for the first. And he works this to the 38 before going down. It's an 8-yard gain. What a great call on 4th down. It keeps this drive moving. Offense executing early. New set of downs at the 38-yard line. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. That was Micah Parsons making that play. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
2nd down now, 7 to go. First carry now for Austin Eckler. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. The rookie from Notre Dame able to take him down. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he's stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. It's a gain of 12 there. And that'll be good for a Washington first. Shotgun snap to Daniels. And this throw's knocked away, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
2nd down and 10, Daniels. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free, incomplete.
Yeah, that's one that's going to haunt him. There's just no question about it. A drop touchdown in the end zone. Now comes the mental toughness part of it. You got to flush that play quickly so you can make an impact later.
Third down give to Robinson. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first. 8 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden got some options here on 4th down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Looks like they will indeed try it. 4th and 2. From the gun, it's Daniels. Touchdown, Washington! He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ball game.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you could go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. He stopped on the return at the 27. This, our last play of the quarter. Now the first run of the game for Javonte Williams. And he's brought down for a loss. 1 quarter down for these two NFC East teams. 7-0 is up. Second quarter all set to begin, and it'll be Cowboys football. They have 2nd down behind the sticks. Dak now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one goes for 25 yards. And it'll be first down, Dallas. First down, here's Dak. Oh, he put some heat on this deep ball, left side. Trying to get that one to CeeDee Lamb. And now it's second down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Up the gut they go with Williams. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. He's got time here. Can't find anyone open. He's forced to throw it away. He'll go with another punch, which brings Brian Anger back to the field. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. The Commanders are ready to go on offense, and we'll get a look at Deebo Samuel. And so far, they've executed exactly how they drew it up, Brock. Early lead, no points allowed, and a chance now to seize control of the game on their second possession.
And Kate, generally, offenses love to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, this entire game script is playing out just the way they want to.
Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. It's Kenneth Murray on the tackle. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Daniels from the pistol. This is hauled in by McLaurin. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts, but throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. That's good for 7 yards. And the Commanders will have a first.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
On first down, they'll run. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on first down. You just want some yards to set up an easier second down play. But they will take that execution every time.
Play fake here, Daniels. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Cowboys take over after forcing the first turnover of this ball game. Man, great call by the defense there. They go to cover 2 for that play, and it's the free safety back there who makes the read and forces that turnover.
And that's who you want playing that cover 2, covering half the field, right? Those strong safeties near the line of scrimmage, a little more depth at playing the run. Free safeties, this is exactly what they want. They want to play that half, and when that ball is in their vicinity, go and take it away. As quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. First time this game they've looked to him. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
The Cowboys setting out their punting unit. Brian Anger, the one to send it away. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. So this one sails over the sideline, and they'll spot it where a touchback would go at the 20-yard line. The Washington offense getting set for its next possession. And we've seen both extremes of this passing game so far, Brock. One touchdown and one interception on the ledger.
A home run and a strikeout. A little sampling of what
Yep.
works and what doesn't against this defense, Kate. Now, you got to try to emphasize those things that you found success on with that opening drive.
He's running with it. And he's able to get across the 25 before stepping out.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right, they win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
Second and 3 now. From the 27. And he won't connect on that one. Incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And now it's 3rd and short.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Here's Daniels. Trying for the deep ball. And we all saw it. Flag came out just before that one fell incomplete. They may still get some big yards out of this one. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. The penalty erases an exciting turnover, makes it 1st and 10. Running it after the penalty. Oh, he trucked that defender. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
Now Daniels off the play action. He's on the move. That's complete. He got the feet down, but he goes out right at the line of scrimmage.
It's what these quarterbacks are having to do more often now than ever before in football. Show off a little mobility. Get outside the pocket and find that open man.
Able to find Ertz. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
That's taken in by Samuel. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. The Commanders take a timeout. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. 2nd and goal coming up, 5 yards to the end zone. Again, Daniels to the air. And they will score. Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders will add to their lead at the end of the half. Terry McLaurin with the touchdown. Gay with the point after. And the Commanders double their lead to 14. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Here's Kevontae Turpin on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. First and 10 now with all of 15 seconds left to utilize in this half. They'll turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. It's halftime from near the nation's capital. The Commanders pulling in front after 2. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to our studios in Orlando. Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And welcome in everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We were treated to a fine performance in the first half from the Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels.
His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. It's Deebo Samuel with the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Commanders and Brian Robinson Jr. running back on now. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. And someone stepped in, it's intercepted. And the Cowboys get the football back at the 30 after that interception. And it doesn't matter who gets that ball to start the second half because he picks it off on the very first play.
I wonder at halftime, down there in that locker room on the whiteboard, if that defensive coaching staff just said simply, go get the ball. It's exactly what they do, and it totally changes the complexion of this second half.
2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Less than a yard needed here on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Prescott. He finds him beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Oh, I love 4th downs. It just brings out the very best, and you get to see how you handle the most pressure, and it turns out they handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing.
1st and 10, Prescott. This one's caught. And he didn't get much time to secure it as he takes a shot. Good job to even hang on through that catch there. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Prescott will look to throw. Pass it down close. Touchdown, Dallas. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
That one right down the middle. And the Cowboys chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Samuel now to return it. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. The Commanders set to take over. They still have the lead, but that touchdown makes it a little close for comfort. So this drive a chance to get it back up to a 2-score game. First and 10, around to Robinson. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
2nd and 12 behind the sticks. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Daniels throwing on third. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! Oh, they got it back. They can try and salvage something. Well, they scrambled back on top of the fumble. They lose a ton, though, and now they've got fourth down coming up.
Yeah, recovering it really only brought you one more play. But with how much they lost on that play, well, here come the special teams. And now, well, now they got to be special.
And the fair catch brought in right at the 40. The Cowboys and C.D. Lamb headed back out on offense. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Cowboys will get set to go on offense. First and 10 from the 41. From the gun is Prescott. Brought in by Jake Ferguson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They got 24 yards on the play. And that's good for a Cowboys first down. Prescott here from the gun. Jukes out a one stop. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25.
The nice thing about a drag route is it works versus zone. You can find that soft spot and get a completion, but they can be very effective when you got an excellent route runner running away on that drag route from man coverage.
Handoff on second and short. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
Throwing on first is Prescott. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice gain. Looked like a bit of a concentration drop on that one. So second down coming up. Throwing again is Dak. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you've got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Dak to the air here. Ferguson's got it, complete. Decent gain here, but short of the first. So fourth down brings out Brandon Aubrey to try for the Cowboys field goal. This will be around a 33-yarder for him. Gay's kick is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point gain.
You know, you look at that third down play, looking back, and it really turns into a 3-point play. It's why situational work is so critical. Coaches talk about it all the time. Sure, you love the field goal, but man, they would have loved a touchdown more.
Returns looking good so far. His return reaches that 34-yard line before he stopped. The Commanders and here's first and 10 from the 34. Out of the gun, Daniels. Ertz reels it in. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. It's Kenneth Murray on the tackle.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
The Commanders take a timeout. They're first. As that'll leave him with just 2 to use the rest of the way. Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter. Second and 6 now. Oh, brother, it's another interception. There he goes on the right side. And he takes this one back for the pick 6. Thrown at the depth where linebackers come into play in coverage, partner, and sure enough, one of them jumps it and takes it to the house.
You say that. You know what I think about? I think about the depth finder on my fishing boat. You're absolutely right. This is where these linebackers love to lurk and could do some serious damage.
This is the end of the... Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. Samuel now to return it. And look at this return. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. Washington ready to go on offense as they take the field. And they didn't have much time to recover from that pick 6. Need short memories here as they head back out. Daniels coming back after that pick. Taking the deep shot there on first down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete.
He's counting his lucky stars. That one isn't headed the other way right now. That is not the time to challenge double coverage.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. From the gun, it's Daniels. He'll get this one to Brown. And he'll get it up to the 44. It's a gain of 12 there. And the Commanders will have a first.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
First and 10 now. Here's Daniels. He gets this one to McLaurin. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
Second and 6 coming up here. From the 48. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. That was intended for Deebo Samuel. And that takes them to third down. Play fake here, Daniels. And down he goes. The Cowboy defense gets it done. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of fourth down. Shotgun snap to Daniels. That's caught beyond the marker. And he's in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders take a fourth quarter lead. Now a try to go up by 4, put it out of the range of a field goal. Got a good plant in the rain there. The extra point flies through. And the Commanders take a 4-point lead. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Turpin with a return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Cowboys offense now headed back to the field. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game on how they respond right here. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Williams to start the drive. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
And he pushes it up across the 30 before going out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
He's back to throw. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Jonathan Jones makes the play. And it's a pick six as he runs it in for the touchdown. You get a pick six. You get a pick six. These defenses, Brock, wow, they have competed. Seeing who ends up with the best highlight of the game, huh?
A highlight? You're going to call a pick six and multiple? Highlight, Kate?
No, even if it's your defense doing it, come on, B-Rob.
No highlight for a quarterback.
Oh, it's a fake. Looks like they're going to throw. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
You know, that's a call you might see in the college game, but it's pretty dead and gone from the NFL, and for good reason. Even catching him off guard, the chance for success, extremely low.
And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Offense headed back out there now for Dallas. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Back to the air. Prescott after that pick. Connecting on the slant. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Here's 2nd and 2. Throw complete to Williams. Just a couple of yards here as he heads for the sideline.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
And that's incomplete. He's going to wish he hung on to that pick there, but it's still going to bring up 4th down.
I think I could see his eyes from the booth. He was envisioning the return and simply dropped it. You got to secure the pick before anything else.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Prescott. They connect for the 1st. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Another throw for Prescott. Throw complete to Lamb. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. Now, before we reach the 2-minute warning, we've got a timeout. That's the 2nd one used by the defense in this half. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10. Dak throwing again. Completed to his running back.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Flushed out of the pocket. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. May still have 2 to work with in this final quarter. All right, one more snap before the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down beyond the marker. So a 1st down for them as we've hit the 2-minute warning. Working inside the red zone. Cut near the goal line. And in for the Dallas touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on football fields. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. And he sure did.
Now with almost 2 minutes left, they're lining up for an onside attempt they need to recover. And the Commanders are able to cover the kick. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. Ooh, can't get it back on the onside kick. Can still get a final chance with a quick 3-and-out, though, albeit not with a lot of time for them left to work with.
Yeah, Kate, unless they can force a miracle turnover, and we've seen that before, a 3-and-out is really the only avenue remaining. Defense, go buckle it up.
He rolls to his right. And after all that running, he ends up out of bounds deep behind the line of scrimmage. Not even a throwaway. That's going to count as a sack.
You know, in that situation, as hard as it is and everything flying around you, you just got to get rid of the ball. You got to know where you are. Not just wide receivers that always got to know the boundary. Running backs and quarterbacks do. Looked like we saw a little bit of panic, hence going out for the sack.
Wow, they're going to pass it here. They'll get it complete to Brian Robinson Jr. And he's able to get this down to the 36. Now Dallas is going to call its second timeout. And they'll have just one left to burn now. Third and just 2 to go. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. Now after the run, we see he's visibly shaken up. Team medical staffers headed over to take a look. Ball at the 33 for first down. Here's Robinson up the middle. And he pushed deep in enemy territory with that, down inside the 25. Final timeout taken by the Cowboys. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Lone back gets the handoff. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15+ at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Oh, look at this. He's setting up to throw. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. And they send a man in motion. On 2nd down, Robinson. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs. So next to the nation's capital, it's a home win for the Commanders. And we know how rain can wreak havoc at any moment on a football field, but they didn't let that stop them today. They played their game, and as a result, they're leaving here with a victory. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. It's a win for the Commanders, as with that, we sign off from D.C.